You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome to high school preview number 4. This time we got Emerald and Coach Height, Espos to the side. What's going on, Coach Height?
Great to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on. Excited.
Yeah, no doubt. Samuel, see, I love coming to Emerald. I think I came twice last year, so Sammy gives me up and down the road for it. But hey, it's an enjoyable place.
Well, let me go ahead and get this out there right away. One of our team goals this year is for Sammy to know where Emerald is. It's on our goal board. Heard he's never seen it. Didn't know we had a dugout or rocking chairs. I heard a lot of talk on the previous shows. One of our goals is to get Sammy in our stands. We're gonna have him a spot in our new press box with his name on it. So whenever you're ready, we'd love to have you.
Coach, I'm coming game 1, I think. You know what I mean? I'm kind of fired up for this right now.
Good.
I'm ready to roll. We'll just boot Drew off the Emerald train, and I'll take it over from here.
That'd be great. We'd love to have you. Everybody on board.
You got to – Austin will come if there's great concessions. That's what, he doesn't even watch baseball anymore at this point. Shows up for the food. But, Coach, last year saw you had a young team, but talk about last year a little bit, what you learned from that previous season.
Inexperience is a word that I've used a lot with our team. We're just experience is tough. You got to have it. And we hadn't had a whole lot of it, and it showed at times. We made some mistakes in some big games, and some of that is due to lack of experience, and some of that is due to having just some young guys that haven't been in those spots, et cetera. But our region's very tough. We got a lot of great coaches. State champion came out of our region. Every time you play a game, you got to be on your P's and Q's and doing your best from a coaching standpoint, because those guys are all very well coached teams. So, we learned a lot about our players. We got some younger guys, like you said, and they're exciting to watch and do some great things. But, there's no substitute for that experience. And we're excited to see where they'll be this year next time we get out there.
Yeah, obviously talking about some of that experience and kind of growing in and dealing with maybe some growing pains with some younger guys. Now, those younger guys obviously return now. Get a little bit older. Talk about some returners you're kind of fired up for, some guys that maybe have taken some of those next steps and they gotten, a year older from last year.
Yeah, our two best arms are back, the guys that threw the most innings for us, and we'll lean kind of heavily on both of them, and that's Will Howard, recently committed to Walker. He's had a strong off season and really worked hard to get where he's at, and Tucker Meredith is a lefty. They're both juniors. And our success relies heavily on how they perform on the mound, and they know that. They know there's a lot rides on them and their performances, but they're guys that since day one have worked really hard and spent a lot of time doing the extra arm care and extra workouts and getting themselves prepared for a big year. They understand what it takes, and it's been fun to watch them grow. But them two especially are two that we'll really lean on heavily this spring for sure, on the mound and at the plate. Both of them are two-way players for us, and we gotta put a lot of pressure on them to lead, but they love that and want that. So they're two of our horses for sure. I failed to mention one guy that I definitely need to mention as I look on my list. It's our returning middle school catcher, who is now a 9th grader. That's Eli Swansea. You've seen him, and he's a phenomenal player. And his experience behind the plate as an 8th grader last year and the way he played, I think, said a ton about him. And watching him grow and watching him develop and mature throughout that season was incredible. And really excited about having him back. As y'all know, a guy that touches the ball every play behind the plate, that you can trust, that you know is going to be tough and resilient. And Eli Swansea is all that and more. And it's rare to see that at a young age, especially a guy throwing the fire as a middle schooler. And him and Bo, had great years. And we're leaning on him and Bo a lot and them being middle school starters last year at shortstop and catcher. Eli and Bo Height coming back obviously plays a huge role for us.
Yeah, tough big time
Go ahead,
spots
Coach.
right there.
Yeah.
Premier positions, you throw some babies out there.
Yeah, and Bo and Eli are mature for their age, and Bo's gonna have to pitch more this year than he did last year. I think last year as a seventh grader, we just kind of we're letting him develop through some of the learning curve that was there for becoming a varsity player as a seventh grade and as a seventh grader. But this year, I think his development on the mound has been really, really good over this summer and this fall. He's looked great, throwing 3 pitches for strikes and competing on the mound. And Bo is a great competitor and a guy that grew up a lot last year through playing as a seventh grader. And him and Eli both have had fantastic falls and summers. So I'm excited to see both of those guys. They're pretty much the right in the middle of our field, our catcher and our shortstop. So they're going to be enormous pieces, and it's great to have them back with a year of experience under their belt.
Yeah, we've seen some newcomers that you had last year kind of roll through the PBR ranks, as we call it, with junior futures and various events. But what kind of newcomers are you expecting this year to have a chance to make a big impact?
Guys, Justin Scott is a guy that hadn't played a tremendous amount for us on the varsity level, but he's a senior and be on the infield and worked really hard. He's going to Erskine next year and has busted his tail and in every aspect to get where he's at athletically, and super proud of him and the effort he's put in. And Hunter Archibald is another guy that we'll lean on. He caught for us as a freshman last year. He kind of moved around to several different positions. And Colson Marino will be in the next middle schooler to bust on the scene, I think, for us this year. He's had a great summer. And we're playing a lot of young guys. Y'all know that. You've seen us. And Colson he had a great Legion summer, and then this fall he's really looked like he's made a good jump, and hopefully he'll be able to compete. He's young, but he's athletic enough to get out there. He plays wide receiver on the middle school football team, and pretty decent athlete. Excited to see what he can do. Finn Howard is another one. Will Howard's little brother. He's a ninth grader. He's thrown the ball really well this fall with the time that we've gotten out there. Excited to see him. Jackson Gary, another senior, and Caleb Boots, several other guys that have worked really hard this offseason. And I know I'm failing to mention a few other guys, but those are some guys off the top of my head that I feel like have really put in the time and work to improve. And I'm excited to see kind of where those guys fall in our depth chart come the spring. But they're definitely eager. We got a lot of hungry guys, and we try to preach that. And what we're doing is just we're chomping at the bit to get back out there and get another opportunity.
You guys might lead the nation in middle schoolers that play on a really good high school team. It's different when you play a bunch of middle schoolers and you're no good. But you guys play a bunch of young guys and be able to have a ton of success. So kudos to you guys on that one. But you mix in those young guys and you mix in a lot of those returners, and you got some committed kids, and you're going to have some future committed kids that roll through the program in this way. What are some expectations going into this season that you guys really kind of have for yourself moving forward?
Well, we feel like our goal is to always compete for the region championship. Even as a young team, I think I would be selling them short if we didn't set those goals for ourselves to be the best. We are very eager to get better. I think the measuring stick is right there in our conference. Clinton being the best team last year, won the state championship. We're going to get to see where we are and where we stack up. But my expectation, I think if you asked our players and the team their expectations, it will be very clear that we want to win. We want to win the region, so I think that's where we set the sights. And making the playoffs last year was a big step for us. But with Will and Tucker getting a year older and all these younger guys a year older, and some guys that I think will step in to fill some of the role player positions and things like that, I think this team is would set their expectations high, and that's to compete to win a region championship.
Drew's on mute. I think he's talking.
I'm on mute. I'm sorry, guys. Obviously, you've got a good region with Clinton just winning the state championship in Union County as well. But what specific games or tournaments are you looking forward to the most this coming season?
Well, as far as tournaments and things like that and competition, we're going to host a preseason tournament with Strom Thurmond. We're going to split 2 sites. We've got 10 teams coming to that, and I believe that'll be one of the great tournaments in the state. We're excited about that. I was going to look up and make sure I don't miss any teams, but we've got Strom Thurmond and Emerald. We've got Airport, Clinton, Mid Carolina, 96, Fox Creek, Aiken, Cardinal Newman, and Spring Valley. So an intriguing field, kind of a mixture of the Midlands and in our area here in the Lakelands. So it'll be great. We're going to have that schedule coming out soon, but it'll be a strong 10-team field that I think will be a great test for our kids early to see where we are.
No doubt. A lot of talented teams and individuals on some of those teams you just threw out there. So there's a lot of good players, a lot of youngins that are going to come through there, rolling in there. Hey, Coach, I just looked it up. An hour and 55 minutes from my house at this moment in time to your doorstep there in the campus. So you tell me the game, I'm there with bells on and ready to watch them. We'll get after it. So it's a nice, easy drive up to 26, and me and Drew's favorite stop up there in Clinton at the QT, Zaxby's.
No, the Arby's.
Arby's, or if I stop at the Arby's, I'm gonna go ahead and miss the game. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that one right now. So I'll make sure I don't stop there. But I want to, we want to appreciate or thank you for coming on. We're fired up. We knew you guys had a very talented team last year, and we're looking forward to this year. So we appreciate you hopping on and joining us today and talk a little baseball as we're winding out the fall.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys having me on, and we'll check that off the team goals list. The day you get here, we'll mark that one checked, and we'll move forward from there and try to attack our other goals with relentless ambition. So very exciting times for us, and having you on our campus will be definitely a bucket list item for the Vikings. So we are.
Coach, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate what y'all do in the coverage that you guys provide our kids. It means a lot to us, and it makes it very special for them, and also helps them in a lot of ways. So, thank you. Special shout out to you guys and the time that you spend doing these previews and scouting, and I know it's a lot of time and effort, and we appreciate that. Our coach association, all our kids, everybody. It means a lot to us. So, thank you.
Well, appreciate that.
Hey, as Sammy says, that we do it for the people.
You got to give the people what they want. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's right.
Give them what they want.